Let's talk about what is one of my favorite films that I have seen this year. It's an independent film directed by Corey Finley, who did a film previously that I saw and interviewed him for called Thoroughbreds. Look up the trailer for Thoroughbreds. Look up Thoroughbreds on video on demand. Landscape with Invisible Hand is based on a science fiction novel about a future Earth in which aliens have made contact with humans. Not only have they made contact, they have become entrepreneurial with humans. And effectively, what's now happened is Earth is populated by the underclass that lives on the surface of Earth, covered in junk and tent cities and homeless people and people who can barely afford apartments or dwellings, and these giant floating cities where all the rich people live. These aliens called the Uvu, or they're called the Uvu, called the Uv, are these slug-like creatures that they speak in a language that involves scratching their paws, and the scratching of the paws is translated. Adam is the lead character, who is an aspiring artist. He's in high school, and you see the history of his family and even contact with aliens through his artwork. He's an ambitious, plucky young kid who meets Chloe, who is a homeless person living on the streets with her dad and her brother. And Adam and Chloe have romantic interests. They also are taught using a device that attaches to your head that's kind of like a VR set. So when you attach this to your head, you're taught by the Uv creatures. All of this I'm describing is incredibly bizarre, but you can see it in the trailer. What ends up happening is the two characters, Adam and Chloe, they have a crush on each other. And in order to make money, they monetize their relationship. And in a way, a lot of this relationship is like being on YouTube. They attach it. They attach these devices to their heads. So you're not only seeing what they're doing, you are feeling their feelings. And the Uv, because they don't understand humans, they use these shows, which are like these YouTube shows, to understand humans and how they feel. Because they don't have love, they don't mate the same way, and they find humans fascinating. So effectively, humans are doing YouTube shows for aliens. And Adam and Chloe are monetizing their relationship. They have fun, they make out, they watch movies together, and they get not only more and more viewers, but more and more money. Chloe's family moves in with Adam's family. It's a little rough and tumble. And then because of some problems, Adam and Chloe maybe don't like each other as much as they did initially. Their high school romance kind of begins to wane. And there's a violation, kind of like on YouTube when you get a violation, you have a problem, you've broken the terms of service. This is what happens to Adam and Chloe. And they are called up to one of to meet with one of the Uv in the city to dispute this breaking of the terms of service, because they're not actually authentically in love, but they're doing a show called Adam and Chloe in Love. This is a satire on what's happening now in our world. It's about class disparity. It's about social media influencers and what it costs you. It's about empathy and what it means to be human. It is the weirdest film I have seen this year. It is so incredibly well done in terms of its world building. This movie comes to us from Plan B, which is Brad Pitt's company. And I mean, I'm saying these things to you about what the story is, trying to explain it to the best of my ability. But it is absolutely, it's in my top films of the year. I don't know if it'll be in the top 10, in my top films of the year. And it does what great science fiction does well, which is what the Pod Generation did very well, which is it introduces a concept that changes humanity, and it's how humanity reacts to this concept, which is the idea that there are aliens, which is just accepted. And the aliens basically solve everyone's problems on Earth, except what that does, it takes away purpose. And you see the despair and the depression that plagues almost everyone. In an opening scene, these little VR headsets, which they're devices that attach to the side of your temple. This is their version of VR headsets, and the teacher is no longer needed because they're just going to teach through these videos, and the teacher commits suicide. And you see the level of despair. You see homeless people living under a bridge. This movie may be science fiction. It's about now. It's about the elites turning their backs on working people. This movie should resonate with everyone because it's so much better in tune than Hollywood movies. Mm-hmm. So bravo to Corey Finley for not only showing us a vision of the future that we've never quite seen, that is very sad, but also there's a humanity to it. I don't want to give away too much about the film, but Adam's artistic aspirations get the attention of the aliens, and he's offered a choice. And the choice is not unlike the choice that an independent filmmaker might be faced with when signing to make a big budget Hollywood movie. Now, all of this stuff I'm telling you is all underneath the surface. None of it is like hitting you on the head like a hammer. It is so well done. But it basically, these aliens, by solving every problem, is basically turned Earth into a third world country. And it's sad. It's just the level of purposelessness that has affected everyone. You know, people who used to be brain surgeons are now Uber drivers. People that used to be attorneys are basically coffee baristas because those things aren't needed anymore. Because these aliens basically solved all of Earth's problems and have become entrepreneurs, and they've invited Earthlings to be part of the larger galaxy of creatures. And what I really think is interesting is, from a science fiction standpoint, it always really was weird to me whenever Star Trek would go to a planet, like you'd visit a planet in the Star Trek universe, the aliens just have like bridges and they all dress the same or they look the same. So the way you know your planet is united is when everyone wears the same unitard, which is ridiculous. Their vision of aliens, they don't sound like us, they don't feel like us, they don't communicate like us, they don't even view the world like humans. And so they're fascinated by humans. I absolutely love this film. I was blown away by it. I saw it after Blue Beetle. When saw Blue Beetle, then saw this, and I can't stop thinking about this film. I plan to see it again. Strong recommendation. This movie is a 9 out of 10 for me, and it is what really good science fiction should do, which is comment on our present day in a meaningful way. And I just loved it. Love this film. Let's see if there are any comments from people or anyone else.
I'll just say, I interviewed Corey Finley on the Film Threat interview channel. We talk a lot about this book or the movie. I saw it back in Sundance, but I have to agree with you, and I think I agree with everything you said. But I think one of the highlights of this movie is Tiffany Haddish. She gives an amazing performance, and I think what makes it amazing is she really acts in this one. She gives a dramatic performance as the mother, and we talked about it. But by having her be normal throughout most of the film, when the comedic moment happens for her character, it just makes that moment even more better.
This is, in my opinion, this is the best thing she's ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, I mostly think of her as a comedic actress. She was really good. Tiffany Haddish was really good in that Eric Andre movie. It's the Eric Andre movie. I think it's on Netflix. It's one of those, like, playing jokes on people. Mm-hmm. And she's in that. She plays an escaped convict. Awesome. But she's so good in this film. And the young actor who plays Adam, the artist.
Yeah, Ashante Black.
Yes.
Ashante Black.
Okay. If they cast a Miles Morales, they should cast him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Asante Black, he is so good in this. He's so likable. And the whole idea of him being an artist, what I like is he's an artist that's at the beginning of his journey. So his art is very good. You see like kind of where he's developing. And I love the opening of the film is this montage of his artwork from like being like a kid kind of dabbling, like not very good. And then they tell the story of getting to the present day, which is the movie set in the year 2036 through his artwork. You see, it's, oh my God, Corey Finley did such a good job. So you're seeing the story of his family and the story of Earth's contact with the aliens. And then you see on the news, they have this like monument that was defaced. It's the monument dedicated to first contact with the aliens. But it hasn't made, all of this technology hasn't made the Earth better. It hasn't made people happier. And you just see like, you know, you take away purpose from people, you see what it costs you. When you basically have everything, you basically have like enough to live and whatever, and enough to get by, that's not enough. You have to have a higher purpose in life. And this movie is such a great comment on you know, our world today. I just think you have to see it. It's you may not love it as much as I did, but this movie will provoke conversation. It'll provoke conversation.
Yeah. And last week we talked about the Pod Generation.
Yes.
Just the fact that there are two good science fiction movies coming out back to back. You know, just this ability to, I mean, these are modern day parables essentially, being able to take, you know, what's happening in the world today and shine a light on it through, you know, kind of a back end light through science fiction. And again, another great science fiction movie coming out this
strong recommendation. See the interview with director Corey Finley on the Film Threat Interviews channel. We also interviewed him for his movie Thoroughbreds. I think back in like 2018 we interviewed him, but cannot recommend this movie enough. And it's a movie that I love to see, a small independent film, science fiction in nature that makes commentary.